Hello, my friends. We're trying now this new channel from YouTube. Well, it's not a new channel, but it's my channel. So we are going to make a flight from Poza Rica to Minatitlán, and we're starting to test this YouTube platform for streaming. We were before in Facebook. And we're going to try to stream now in YouTube, also in English. Se habla espagnol, on parle français. Si vous voulez regarder le stream en français, c'est seulement de donnez-moi votre commentaire dans le chat. Je peux répondre en français pour les gens qui sont à Québec. Okay, let's go back to English. Okay, guys, here we are in the TMB900, and this is really a nice airplane from HotStart, and I enjoyed a lot, flying it a lot from TBM HotStart. It's very beautiful. We have here our walk around, so while the passengers arrive and we are preparing our flight, let's take a look at this beauty, man. Like, we already have like our tail number. With Mexico, it's extra alpha. That means that it's for public service transportation. So this is a beautiful, very beautiful airplane. Look at that. My God. All right, let's go and take a look and start. Seems that our passengers are going to start to arrive. Let's start with the payload. And let's see how much fuel. 88 on the left tank. Let's just round to 100. Also on the other side, we don't want any imbalance during a flight. So let's close. This is very nice because you can see here the fuel caps are off, and if you don't close them, they stay they stay open in flight. That's not a very good idea. All right, let's see what is our weight and balance for the passengers. We're expecting like it's okay, looks fine. Everything we're inside the envelope, so this is good. This is our takeoff weight, our estimate landing weight. It's nice, all looking good. Everything's closed. Let's jump into the cockpit. And let's start bringing this bird to life. So, first thing that we're going to do is, of course, raise the crash bar. So we'd add standby power. We're adding here standby power. The system is initializing. Let's just give it a little bit. So this is starting the aligning process. It's going to do its own test. We need just to wait a little bit, but aside of this, I mean, it's a very simple aircraft to operate. Let's just turn off. There's it. Auto warning is okay. All right. Still aligning, keep the wings level. Okay, meanwhile, let's just start the battery. Let's just wait for these displays to come for our G1000. Okay, that's good. Everything's fine. Let me tell you guys that this aircraft is kind of I'm not going to say very picky, but it's very well modeled, and the systems and everything. If you do something wrong, you're going to pay for it. It has a maintenance system that you need to go thoroughly, and believe me, the parts for this aircraft they are very expensive. All right, so let's go to our ignition on. Let's turn our fuel pump. Okay, yes, I know. And let's crank it. So let's go 1, 2 seconds. We hold it. And wait here until the NGs are above 14%, and then we just put in low idle. Fuel is coming, engine is ramping up. Nice, checking the parameters. We don't want any unexpected start. Case ITTs starting to come down. Prop looks fine. And let's put it to just high idle. Okay, seems that everything is looking fine. So let's turn our generator, our ignitions to auto, fuel pump to auto, fuel selector to auto, our autopilot trims. Everything looking okay. Let's start our pitot and stall. Then let's close the door. Passengers are already here. And let's just close it. Alright, let's put our headsets on just to attenuate the noise, because it has a very nice noise cancelling effect, as you can see. See, these are the Bose noise cancelling, nice pair of headsets. So let's just double check, start finishing here. Air conditioning is auto, bleeds are on and auto, so we don't want to depressurize. Let's start doing some work here, and we're gonna put we're gonna go, this is basically VFR, but we're gonna be like flying using a bit of BOR. So let's go, we're not flying any instrument flight plan, so let's go by the flight rules, and let's just go climb up to 15,000 and a half. Alright, we set up, we're gonna take off for runway 08. So let's set our heading to runway 08. That's it, 08. Let's put in our standby like the VOR from Veracruz. And this should be 117.0, if I can remember. If not, we'll just double check very quickly with our charts. Let's check in our charts what is the frequency for the VOR of Veracruz. Okay, hold on out, my charts are loading. Sorry, it's 114.0, not 17. So let's bring this baby back. Okay, and we are bearing 2. Probably we're not gonna, of course, like read it now because we have the mountains. But as soon as it goes, so everything's set up, so we can start taxiing. Let's turn our taxi lights. Let's take a quick look from the outside again. I like very much the shape of this aircraft. We are using Xenviro, so my frame rate is not that high, but I mean it's fairly constant, so it's flyable. It's flyable, but honestly, for all those weather add-ons that are out there for Xplane11, Xenviro is just the best. Okay, let's set our flaps for takeoff. Let's check that our trims are correct. Let's adjust the rudder trim a little bit and the aileron trim. Fine, takeoff. Everything looks fine. Taxi lights on. Let's put our throttle lever to flight range so it can start. Like you can see, the prop the governor of the prop will start doing its own stuff, so it's going to start increasing the RPMs slowly. Just need to wait until those RPMs are on the green arc. So we don't want to have any problems here. So our prop RPMs are inside the range. Let's remove the brakes and let's start taxiing. Let's keep our engine within the taxi range. Let me tell you guys also that I've been using the new BATSIM Velocity, which is really nice. As you can see, all the people from that are logged in the BATSIM network on their aircrafts and everything, just with a very much higher refresh rate. So you can basically see them. It's another AI aircraft inside your simulator, and it brings together all the platforms, so that's really nice. Okay, a quick look. No traffic to the left, no traffic to the right. Yep, let's go in. Let's turn our strobos. So to follow the rule, to be seen all the time while we are taxiing in the airport, particularly when we are entering the wrong way. Let me tell you that the handling of this aircraft is overall very, 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 very smooth. I like the way it handles on ground, the way it handles on flight. It's very cool. It's a very cool aircraft. I already set up with my X camera some of abuse, so we can quickly switch around. And this is really nice. Now it's going taxiing at a good rate. Just to get to the heading of the runway 08. There's one thing about we have here in TotalMexico is that we have all the runway slopes as they should be. So this is nice. We don't have like flat runways. They are all following the contour of the terrain. Which presents a challenge from some of the runways in Mexico. There are like, thanks to the terrain contour, okay, we're on the head of runway 08. Let's put our brakes. Let's check our parameters. There goes the landing lights. And something that we really need to take care is our torque here, so we don't go crazy. That's 90%, that's a good one, and brakes are off. We start rolling for our takeoff. Speed drive's alive, 70 knots. We're gonna rotate 85. Slowly coming to rotate, and we're airborne. Positive rate, gear is up. And I don't want to keep it above 10 degrees in the pitch, so let's trim it a little bit down, nose down. It's nice, so we can start gaining up speed. Let's start our departure to making a turn to the right. And flaps are up. Let's fly to a heading of 130, 120. Let's go to a heading of 120. Very, very smooth. Oh, just overshoot our heading. Let's trim it down a little bit. Nose down a little bit. Why not? We just want to start getting up speed. And there we go. Keeping the heading. All manual flight. We're losing speed a little bit. Let's bring the nose down. So let's say to around 5 degrees. Just fine-tuning trimming, and it wants to go a little bit turn like on the roll to the left, so we just compensate with a little bit of aileron trim. That's it. We set 5 degrees. Of course, as we're gaining speed, the nose wants to pitch up, so let's just pitch it down a little bit with the trim again. It's very cloudy now. Very cloudy in this area. Very typical of this season, the winter season here in Veracruz. We have very cold fronts forming here. There are mountains surrounding particularly this area. They just keep all this cold front like blocking and then going into the other side. This area is very, very green. While on the other side, when you just cross these mountains, go toward Mexico City, it becomes very arid. Climbing nicely. I was leaving 5,000 for 15 and 15500. So let's see. Oh, oops, a little bit turbulent here. Nothing to worry. Just let's try to not over control the aircraft. Just let it ride the turbulence. Let it ride. Just making sure that we are still climbing. We're trying to maintain our heading. This is like if someone was rocking the bed. Nice going, climbing steadily. Something funky here. I think at this point we should start receiving the Veracruz VOR. But we are not. Let's see what's going on. Let's switch to our nav radio 1 to see what's going on. I probably still don't have signal yet. Well, that's definitely very, very odd. Anyway, let's correct our heading to, let's say, 140. Nice steady climbing, 1100 feet per minute. Very smooth ride. My airplane is trim for that attitude. I'm not using autopilot. Let's take a look for the passengers really quick. Let's go to an exterior view. Yep, my FPS are really suffering, but you know what? From the inside, it's still very flyable. it's still very, very flyable, I guess. I hope. Let's try to reduce the settings of XEnviro a little bit here to see if we can get better frame rates. And let's reduce the cloud's dynamic quality. See if we can get some frames. Not helping that much. Not helping that much either, really, but anyway, we're flying, very low FPS. We can take a look here in the Aeortaxi, just 20 frames per second. You can see the stuttering, but we're still able to fly. Let's try something else and see if we can just manage to. Okay, let's reduce the flight models per frame, see that helps. Not really. Anyway. Even that will reduce the quality of the clouds, but anyway. Let's try something. Let's try to turn off XEnviro. Okay. So this is weird. It's not working that much, really. Well, definitely feels a little bit smoother. Okay, I can see now 30 frames. Okay, I have my computer lock at 30 frames. Let's turn back on XEnviro and see if we can just get rid of that bad cache or something. Okay. Meanwhile, okay, now we got Veracruz. Yep, finally. Still don't have DME, but we have like now I have it here in the bearing. Alright, clouds came in. Alright. Let's just increase a little bit power, the torque. It's something that we need to be looking as we climb. As we climb, of course, the torque of the propeller is less because of the air density. So now we're heading that way. Let's just adjust our heading. Heading to the course. Nice. Oh, definitely the frames improve a little bit. Just increase the power. This baby. You need to go careful with the power because this is, it has a lag when you start pushing your throttle lever, a power lever in this case. Because of course it's a turbine, so it just needs to react. So you need to check your ITTs for the turbine and your torque for the propeller. If you go above the torque, you're going to break the shaft, and that's not very good. Let's fly direct to Veracruz, and then we'll fly direct after Veracruz to Minatitlán. Okay, we got DME. So we are 86 miles from Veracruz. Nice. And once we're level, I'm going to engage the autopilot. I like to take these guys all the way manual flight 1,000 to level up. Let's go to our heading back. $500 more to go. Here we go, approaching our final flight altitude. Very, very smooth flight, aside of that problems that we had with the frames. It's feeling a little bit more smoother. Okay, we want to keep it climbing. We don't want, just want to reach out our final flight altitude. And let's engage autopilot, heading altitude. Nice. Now we're gaining speed. And now we are gaining speed. I mean, I think I could have gone a little bit higher, you know, burned less fuel. I mean, but it's nice. This is really nice. This is a really nice altitude to fly here. Let's just check what is our altimeter in Veracruz, of course. And we can check really quick here with XEnviro. This is a feature I like. Mike Victor Romeo. It says altimeter is at 3012. Okay, thank you very much. And not that much of a difference, but still. Let's just put the torque up to, let's say, why not 95%. Okay, let's check our parameters. Pressure differential 4.6, it's inside our range. Fuel tank, we have an imbalance of 6 gallons, not bad. All the electrics is good, all pressure is good, all temperature is good. Good. Let's just, to be consistent of what we're doing, let's just fly it straight, direct to the VOR. And there we go. Nice. And after Veracruz, we are going to have Minatitlán, and the VOR of Minatitlán is 116.40. So let's put that in standby. Why not? Let's keep ourselves busy. I'm going to switch here. 116.40. We're going to leave it there on standby. Also, let's put it on standby on our nav1, just so we have everything ready. And it seems that let's check the weather at Minatitlán. Maybe we do a visual approach, or maybe not. Let's see. Let's check the weather at Mike Tango. All right, we have an overcast at 500. Okay, now this is definitely, I mean, the wind is calm, so we can use any wrong way, but we can do a straight approach with the wind calm. Of course, it's overcast. Altimeter 3008. Okay, interesting. So let's bring our charts for Minatitlán. Mike Tango, let's see. We still have time to look at it, but let's do it when we still have the time. So we have several approaches here. Well, not several, just four. One is for runway 01 and the other is for runway 19. So let's see, VOR DME runway 19. So this means that we will need to intercept a radial 0 to 14 with the course 194 at a distance of 8. Interesting. Yeah, let's try that one. So this here, it's 2000. So we're 1500, so we need to descend 1300 feet. So that means it's 330, let's say 45 nautical miles before Minatitlán we're going to start our descent. So that being said, 45 nautical miles to down to 2,000 feet, and 014 with the course radial 014 with course 194. Okay. Okay, so let's do something. Let's put our varying one here. So we can watch the VOR, and let's just switch our nav to, I mean, we're still far, right? 51 nautical miles, but never too early. So we will know exactly when we have we can receive the Minatitlán bore. Let's just fix a little bit here the heading. So we're flying straight to the station. As you can see, I'm not using the GPS for navigation. I'm using my all-time VORs. Still a little bit of old school. I mean, I love the GPS, particularly the Garmin 1000. It's very nice, but I like old school. Something that I've been noticing though is that after a while the TBM for some reason starts dropping frames. I just wanted to confirm, because now we have the clear skies and this guy is still dropping frames and I don't like it. Some thing that I found that helps is reloading the scenery, but that's gonna take a little bit. And this is definitely weird. Let's check our weather plugins with the show plugin administrator. And what is taking that long? Okay. Seems that Gizmo 64 is coming and going, so that's not really good. Anyway, how much frames? We're still stuck at 20 frames per second. Yeah, definitely. This is the thing. I think it's a bug with the probably a bug with the TBM. Still, I read something in the forums about this thing. Like sometimes, after a while, I've been sitting on the tarmac a little bit a while ago. For a little while since before starting the stream, and that might take a toll here. But yeah, I don't want to just. Let's keep flying. Or 38 nautical miles from Veracruz. Maybe we can do a stop, but you know, guys, let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. Why not? While we're in the autopilot, let's take a look from the outside. Let's get our drone camera. This is really fun. I mean, can you imagine if you were really up in your aircraft flying the real thing, and then you can just pull out your drone camera and follow your flight? That would be really something, right? Yeah, it's stuttering a little bit, and this is something that it doesn't happen with our airplanes. This just happened to me with the TBM. After a while, seems that it's starting to take a little bit of memory or something. But you know, let's just increase again our flight models per frame. I don't want to just start not doing odd stuff. Yeah, well, since this is our first few of the streams we've been doing in this platform in YouTube, and getting a little bit away from Facebook. I started doing some streams on Facebook, but we're gonna start moving to YouTube, start doing more streams and things. Let me tell you guys, I'm very excited about the upcoming Xplane11. The pictures that they've been putting out there, I mean, they're really nice. Some videos with the A330 and the atmosphere and everything looks like very, very promising. I mean, Xplane11, of course, you need to have like your add-ons and stuff to make it look better, but definitely I prefer a platform that's solid when it comes to flying, and then had to add a little bit more of add-ons and other stuff to just make it more pleasant to the view. But definitely this is my favorite flight simulator. I've been a pilot for I don't know, it's quite a long time right now, like 20 years? Around 20 years. Oh my god, that went fast. Started flying, went to flight school to Atizapan de Zaragoza. It's kind of a suburb in the outskirts of Mexico City. Started flying, taking flying lessons with a small Cessna 152. Really nice aircraft. I love it. I love that little airplane. Of course, those were my first hour of flight, and it was just amazing. Then I moved forward, 172, then the twin engine Seneca 5. After that, I had the chance to go to executive jets. My first executive jet was Hawker 400, really nice aircraft. Flew some other twins like the Cessna 340 as well, Cessna 310. Then after going to executive, I went commercial, start flying in Aviaxa, Mexico City with the 737-200, then 300. Then unfortunately the airline just had to shut down for some reasons. As usual, sometimes with airlines, you know, it's a tough business. And then I went flying with Magnet charters, basically mostly the 737-300. Really, I love that aircraft. 737-300, something that I really love. Yeah, very steady flight. Seems that our frame rates are not getting that better, and that we have clear skies for now. But we can see there the port of Veracruz. $200 knots. Let's see if we can increase our speed a little bit more. Should choose another flight level. Definitely my frame rates are really bad now, and this is not something that's happening usually. Again, this is something going on with the TBM, definitely. This is definitely a memory bug, guys. And that, not to say that I'm not using the synthetic vision. Definitely, let's see, if I go closer to the Garmin, it stutters quite a lot. Well, if I take my view away from the Garmin, it feels better. Well, just a little bit. Yeah, definitely there is something here going on. I'm tempted to do something, guys. I'm just tempted to reload the aircraft and see if that helps us with our FPS. Probably I'm gonna do it because I mean, I can handle 20 frames per second if they are not stuttering. But once it starts stuttering, I mean, it's not really nice to fly it with stutters. Let's see which course we need to fly from Veracruz to Minatitlán, and that would be 120. So let's put our course to 120. So we'll know when we cross the VOR of Veracruz, just to keep on that outbound radial from Veracruz. And there you go. We'll just reach Veracruz and start to turn. Yep, nice. Maybe it's better now. Let me just, let me just probably reduce the range so this is not loading, and then just try to declutter. Yeah, let's just declutter this thing now. It looks a little bit smoother, and it seems that we're starting to receive the VOR from Minatitlán. Looks like it wants to. Yeah, well, definitely this helped with the frame rate. Now you can see this is way more smooth. You can see the ships there. Let's take our magnifying glasses on some small islands. There's a crane moving there. Nice. They're doing some work out there. I don't know exactly what, but they're up to something. Oh, there's our weather from Minatitlán. There's our broken layer. Overcast. It was an overcast. Let's see, overcast at what was the base of that layer? 500 feet. Oh my god. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a good approach. It's gonna be a good approach. So let's review. So to be 8 miles at 2,000 feet. So we said 13, it's 10, 30, 33 by 3, 9, 39, and we just need to add 8 miles. So that will be 39, 47 miles before Minatitlán. We're going to start our descent. Now let's just adjust that altitude in our altitude selector, 2,000 feet. And we're going to just switch with the Minatitlán altimeter just before we start our descent. There we go, nice. Yeah, we received Minatitlán, but still not the DME. It seems that we have some wind. Yep, as I expected, we have wind from our left. Just one knot, but just enough to get us out of course, or of our curse. Of our curse, of course. Of our curse, of course. Our curse, of course. We'll say that. "23 miles now, outbound Veracruz VOR." You know, let's also switch the clutter our inset here. Yep, let's declutter it. Better to remove all these symbols from our main display. And let's go and see how the packs are doing. Pretty calm flight. It's a nice aircraft, like a little bit luxurious. You can see the terrain there, nice. Nicely as we fly over the Gulf of Veracruz. We have the stutters back a bit. Engine are good. Let's correct our heading a little bit just to keep the track of our course. And let's adjust as well our standby altimeter. 3012, you know, we can adjust our standby altimeter with altimeter from Minatitlán. 3008, as we have it on site. So we have our standby now, 3008. This is nice about Xenviro. I mean, you can see the clouds. They're not all spread around when you have an overcast layer. You know, it's just where it's supposed to be. Let's see if we can just increase a little bit of our clouds dynamic quality. Let's say to medium. There is another trick that I can try to see if I get better FPS, and this is scaling the screen. Because I've been testing with an NVIDIA setting, just where you can scale your screen, and it will give you a better result. So let's try. And you see I have now this NIS green icon there that is scaling down. It's processing less resolution overall, but scaling up to my display. It's a little bit blurry, but it definitely helps with the frames. So let's keep it like that. That was a quick trick out of the hat to have better frame rates. Yeah, the display gets a little bit blurry, but I mean, but definitely the performance increased enough. To just enjoy the experience a little bit better. Yeah, that feels definitely way better. Let's take out our drone cam. And we have received just the DME from Minatitlán. That's nice. So we said that we were going to start our descent at 47 nautical miles. So we are 69 nautical miles from Minatitlán. And let's switch now to our nav radio. 1 to Minatitlán. Now that we are sure that we just received it. And then we can start adjusting planning, because we said we wanted 104 in 194. So this will give us a good idea. That's our course, 194 and radial 014. So what we need to do is just start flying a little bit more east to get to that radial. And yeah, let's do that. Let's do it. Let's fly a little bit more east just to get to that point that we're going to intercept our approach. This is a direct approach. Nice, good idea to just lower the resolution a little bit while flying and scaling it up. This is a good it's a good thing if you're suffering from your FPS in Xplane. You can use this trick to just get to raise up those frames. Now I'm at 30. That's nice. I'm locked at 30 FPS. Well, lock at 30 FPS. That's good. That's good. Yeah, you can see this is overcast. You can see the shadows there on over the water. I mean, they're pretty close to the terrain. We're pretty close to the ground. Okay, we're 57 nautical miles out of Minatitlán. We have our altitude adjusted here in the altitude selector. Oops, it just froze a little bit. Come on. Unfroze. It's doing its calculations. It's coming. Come on. Stop just do what you need to do to get us back. Nice. And that was a big, like, let me see what I draw. moment from Xplane. And yeah. Yeah, all good. All good, and we're still flying. VOR, or VOR approach. We set 48 nautical miles, 47 nautical miles. We're 53 now. Let's just take a look from the outside. That is an overcast. We're gonna surf that layer. Surfing the clouds. Nice. Yes. Have some interesting approach there. So we're gonna fly it manually. We're not gonna use the autopilot once I start the descent. Just to make it this interesting. As I said, 51 nautical miles. We're close to start our descent. It seems that yeah, something. What's going on? Altitude hold. Seems it started to climb when the autopilot got disengaged. Thanks that I put like a stomp of a trim wheel here in my Honeycomb Bravo, and then that disconnected the autopilot. But that's good. Okay, just 1,000 feet above the our level. Let's adjust our altimeter, 3008. Okay, not bad. Autopilot is out. Let's just reduce our power. And as we're starting to get our descent, let's remove the flight director. I don't want the flight director. Starting our descent to Minatitlán Airport. Passengers are happy, smooth flight. Let's just keep trimming up, not more than 1800 feet per minute. And my altitude reset it here. Let's go back to 2000. In our altitude selector, okay, nothing to worry. We'll just keep an eye on it. We have our inbound course for wrong way 19. Everything's looking fine. Nice flight. We have FPS. Beautiful. Just beautiful. And yeah, let's increase our descent rate just a little bit. We don't want to reach a point that we are too high, particularly in a VOR DME approach. And we're just flying this heading. I'm flying the heading just to intercept the radial of VOR DME approach. That we need to be 2,000 feet, 8 nautical miles inbound Minatitlán. Whoop, let's control our descent. I just went to see if there was someone streaming. No one yet, but doesn't matter. Having fun. I just feel like Bob Ross, you know, like here goes a happy flight. So maybe you guys will watch it later, maybe not. Maybe you will just pass by while browsing YouTube for something to watch, and maybe you just skip it. Maybe not. Maybe you will keep following the flight on what we're doing here in Xplane, flying the airplane, not using the autopilot all the time, just when we were like level the flight altitude. And let's keep going. So we are now, and this is where you need to be calculating your descent rate. So we are now 38 miles. So that means that we will reach 12,000 feet outside. We are in the profile. Let's reduce our speed. What I'm doing is I'm just multiplying by 3. And this is a rule that I learned while I was flying the jets to see how are you doing in your descent. If you need to increase your rate, your descent rate or not, you take the distance that you want to or the altitude that you want. For example, if I want to descend 10,000 feet, I multiply that for 3, and that means that I need to start my descent 30 nautical miles before. So we're at 35 nautical miles. That means that we should be at least 12,000 feet. We are crossing 10,000. So we're a little low in our profile, so I'm going to reduce our descent rate. You see, I'm supposed to be like 30 nautical miles. I'm supposed to be at 12,000, but we have 8 nautical miles. 2, I should be now at about 10,000, so let's reduce. And we need to take into account, of course, that we're not flying towards the station. We're just flying to the east. just to get into the inbound course. Now when that inbound course, and I can see it here in my bearing, it's about 30 degrees from my desired course, I'm going to turn the airplane, I'm going to turn my heading to an additional 30 degrees of that view are 30 degrees different. So I will still be flying to the station and I will still be flying to the intercept course, but I'm not flying that far away. And that is going to happen just in a moment. Yeah, let's keep our descent rate, because I don't want to be level at 2,000 feet way too much before WOR, otherwise you burn a lot of fuel. So this is just a balance of power, speed, and yeah, for example, I'm going to start losing speed here a little bit, so of course my descent rate is going to increase a little bit, so I need to find that really nice balance between my speed and my descent rate. Alright, so this is starting to move on, so let's, as I said, let's move 30 degrees away to the left of that radial to fly inbound. Slowly but nicely. Yeah, let's keep an eye on that descent rate. See, now we move a little bit further so we can correct our heading. Let's start bug. Now, of course, it wanted to climb. Just scanning my instruments. We're 29 miles, so that means that 39 miles. You need to subtract those 20, so we need to be like 6,000 feet now, so let's increase that descent rate. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. I like flying. I love flying. But flying manually, I mean, doing all these kind of calculations, calculating your course, calculating your point of action, like moving your nav radius ahead of time, so you know what you're expecting, what you need to do. And this is real work in the cockpit. Particularly when you're starting to do some instrument flying and you know where you want to get. So we are going to be 20 miles, that needs to be 6,000 minus 8. Okay. Let's increase our descent rate a little bit more. Reduce our speed, our power as well. Now here's the thing, guys, with this TBM, if you go too high to get it in speed, to get it to descent, you will need to pitch your nose really badly down, and that's not good for an approach. You need to be like in with your approach speed, and that's between 90 and 85 knots. Okay, a little bit of turbulence there, wobbling. Otherwise, if you go higher than that with full flaps, your nose will be like really pitched down, and when you try to land and do the flare the wrong way, you're gonna hit the nose. And that's something for real that happened actually, and there is a discussion in the for the real TBM900 owners and pilots. So you really need to be careful to maintain your approach speeds, and because this airplane changes the attitude very high, and if you go like very nose pitch down when you're trying to beat the flare, you're just going to be floating and bouncing all over the runway. So we're 20 miles. Yeah, let's reduce our descent. Let's keep it on 5 degrees. We're 19 miles out. And we're looking good. Let's just adjust our heading back a little bit. You see now the two arrows are starting to align. So we are at 10 miles, so that means that we are 30,000. So yeah, we're going good. Let's just reduce even more a little bit our descent rate. And now when it's 10 degrees of difference from the course, from my course and desired course, I'm just going to start turning into. Let's increase a little bit more of power here. Let's trim it. So we are not carrying the aircraft. So now my course deviation indicator is going to start to move in very soon. Very soon. So we need to keep an eye on that. We're 16 miles. We need to be at 2,000 at 8 miles. So it's 8 by 3, 24. So that means we're doing plus 2. That's 4,400 feet. We are doing good. The two needles are about to align. And here comes the CDI just starting to move. Let's start turning to our final course. So we can align that CDI. Well, it's not that bad. I mean, I thought it was going to be worse here, but we have a good visibility. But it was good to do the descent, just based on my instruments. We're turning slowly but steadily to center that CDI. Yep, so it says that after 2,000 feet, it's 1,300. And this is about to be centered. So I'm gonna switch my altitude selector now to 1,300. Yep, this is centered. Nice. Nice and easy. Easy peasy. Let's reduce our power to increase our descent rate now. So we're gonna be at 8 miles at 2,000 feet. We are 10 miles. 10.3 miles. And this is gonna just come out beautiful. Yep. Really nice. 8 miles to 1,000 feet. All our calculations came really nice, so let's just stop our descent until we're like really 8 miles according to the charts. So let's increase the power a little bit. And now we're between the 8 miles, so we can go down to 1,300 feet. That will be our final approach fix. So let's start configuring our aircraft. So and it says landing gear down, watch out for drag. Let's just add a little bit of power. Let's get it into the white strip. Let's get this baby into the white strip to extend the 1-notch flaps. And let's keep that course. We're in the white strip. 1 notch of flaps. Landing lights. And let's just increase the power a little bit because now we have a little bit more drag. It says at 5 miles we need to be 1,300 feet. And we are within the 5 miles, 1,300 feet. That's nice. And let's go to landing flaps. And let's just keep that CDI center, because this is a non-precision approach. It says that our decision altitude, because I'm not using the right altimeter, is 600 feet. So let's see that. We can now go all the way down to 600 feet and just keep it there. And let's look at 85 knots that I told you. Let's add a little bit more power. Here's a trim. Not that much power, otherwise we're going to start getting speed super fast. I want to reduce the speed to 85 knots. Okay, speed is coming down. 85, 86, that's good. 500. Thank you very much. We're just going to level up a little bit there. Have the runway inside, but if we continue our descent path like that, we're just going to hit the ground. 84 knots, easy peasy, steady, still a bit nose up. Runway is inside. A little bit of wind here. It was calm, but not that calm. Okay, 83 knots, just increase a little bit of power. I have the puppies on site, we're gonna just stay here. Okay, 1 white, let's start. Our descent rate, 8.5, 400 feet, 485 knots to keep on the profile. Yeah, thank you for the airspeed warning. 80 knots. A bit bumpy here. Okay, here it comes, guys. Let's see how it works. This is a lot of wind here. It's very windy. It said wind calm. Let's level the wings. Let's cut the power. Nice, nice and easy. And let's apply the reverse. welcome to Minatitlán. That was a nice, smooth landing. Nice. Well, guys, that was it. Welcome to Minatitlán. We don't do anything until we leave the runway. There was a little bit of a crosswind there, like not reported. Well, a little bit of technical problems with the FPS, but finally we were able to solve it down so we can have a smoother landing. Seems that that overcast was just clearing out, and that's why we had that crosswind through the approach. Flaps go up, trims go to takeoff. 0 rudder and 0 aileron. We just need to go there. We turn off our landing lights. We just lift our taxi lights. We turn out of strobe lights. And we go taxiing slowly but smoothly to the general aviation platform. Once we're there, we're going to just put the replay of the landing. Like I want to do is just watch. And then we're going to do actually before we turn, we just shut down the airplane because I think there is also like another thing if you just shut down the airplane that is not doing the replay really good. But there we are. It's a little bit busy here. Oh, that was not the best turn ever, but it's going to try to leave it here aligned the best that we can. Okay. Brakes are on. Yes, thank you. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the replay. A little low on the approach, but I mean it's okay because as I said, if you go this aircraft just likes to pitch the nose really down if you are at a very high speed. In order to keep that descent rate, you really need to pitch it down. So one of the best things is now that you're on the final approach fix, just configure your aircraft, try to get 85 knots, and just control it from there. 85, 90 knots. And that is the way that you're going to get your nose and your aircraft altitude in a really good your aircraft in a altitude just to do a smooth land, a smooth touchdown without jeopardizing that you will strike the propeller with the nose. Nice. Nice. Let's watch it one more time. Now from the other view. Nice. Buttermilk. Let's look it from the outside with our drone cam. This is something, you see how the airplane, how the attitude is always like flat. So then when you do the flare, just holding it for a smooth touchdown. And you see it's just an instant before the nose gear touchdown. You don't want to do like a big, try to do a big flare, because then you'll be hanging the, will be hanging the aircraft. And then you will probably just go, and when you turn off the power, it will just bounce. This is our guy running with the camera on the ground, following the aircraft. Well, let's get back to where we are now, and we need to turn, to shut down the aircraft properly, otherwise you can damage the aircraft. This TMB900, you will damage it. So, okay, first thing we need to do is go from high idle to low idle, and we just turn off air conditioning and blitz, pilots. It's gonna start to cry in a lot of stuff, but it's gonna be like pim, 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 but there you go. So manual, fuel pumps in manual, auxiliary fuel pump is off, ignition off, generator off, and then we just don't want this thing to continue crying, and then we just can cut off the power. A lot of chimes, like pim, 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 pim. Yeah, I know. Pim, 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 pim. Boom. Yes, thank you. So now, something is that if you watch here, the ITT is still high. It's 274 degrees Celsius, so that's pretty high. So something that's recommended is that you motorize your engine just to cool it down. So we're gonna do that, because otherwise we cannot put the covers, we cannot park, and it's recommended. Well, you can let it cool out. So just gonna just hit the starter with no ignition, just to get more cold air into the turbine. You can see now that the inlet turbine temperature is starting to drop. We just are gonna do a cycle. And everything shut down. We don't have fuel, we don't have anything, we don't have the ignition, no fuel pump, no nothing. Otherwise you can just burn the aircraft, and believe me, it's gonna cost you. You have a maintenance manager that is, my God, it's like, you break the turbine, it's about $500, $500,000. So this is something that you want to take care of. And for real, this thing will keep you track of your stuff. So now we see, now we are at 87, 86. That's a very reasonable. Okay, the starter stop the cycle. Yeah, now we are at 78 degrees Celsius. That is better. So we turn off our battery. Yeah, I know all these chimes about all pressure, blah blah blah. Yeah, and yeah, we just wait, stop, and then we can just get down to the crash bar, This will shut down by itself like in 5 minutes, and then we can exit. Let's exit the aircraft. Open the handle. Boom. Let's exit this baby and let's go to rock around. And let's open the door for our passengers to get off the airplane. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Minatitlán. We hope that you had a pleasant flight. Thank you for flying with the Jetstream Executive VIP. And, well, folks, that's pretty much for this stream. Thank you very much for watching. If you watched, you skip it. If you don't skip, that's pretty fine. I just do this for fun. So I like flying and I like streaming. And I like Xplane and I like TotalMexico. So thank you very much and have a good happy flights and see you soon.